Welcome to Gangrene Machine Live. I'm Zach, and today, this is the start of our New York Jets podcast, which will be releasing an episode every week. Today, I thought it was a good time to start it because it's a trade deadline special with a day. The Jets had a day yesterday when it came to trading away players. It was something that we had expected to happen. It's just it wasn't the players we expected to get traded. And obviously, the Jets traded away Sauce Gardner, traded away defensive tackle Quinnen Williams. It's something that, happens. It's something that we didn't expect to happen, though. The kind of players that got traded, I think we expected more of like a Breece Hall trade, maybe. We expected a Quincy trade, maybe. Quinnen, we maybe expected a little bit more than we expected Sauce to get traded. But yeah, so it was really just unexpected when the Jets traded, especially Sauce. Like, I saw the trade. This is what I saw. Sauce Gardner tweet saying, New York, it's been real. And I kind of like, this was, I'll recreate my reaction for you. Been real. I thought, no, he's trolling us. He's having us. It's not real. It's not happening. The Jets are not trading Sauce Gardner. And then you get the tweet saying the Jets have traded Sauce Gardner. But nobody believed it that much that I think it was Rock Report, Ian, who posted it saying, let me find the tweet. It was like, this was the tweet. This was the tweet that Ian sent out saying the Jets are trading Sauce Gardner to the Colts. Blockbuster. He then replied to his own tweet saying, "What a day." Then replied to it again saying, "This is real." Nobody believed it. It was not expected. Like, I think for the Jets, it was kind of a thing of like, well, everyone's got their price, but Sauce is very expensive there. And I will get into in a minute what Sauce went for and what we got back for him, but nobody expected this to happen. Like, and you see the reaction from all the Jets fans, and it's like, it's crazy, to be fair. Like, everyone is heartbroken by it, but we did technically win the trade because in return, the Jets got 2 first-round picks, 26 and 27, and wide receiver A.D. Mitchell. So they just get 2 firsts and a promising wide receiver. He's got talent. He's got people are hopeful for him. He was drafted in the second round last year, I think. It's a player that everyone thought the Jets should have took over Malachi Corley. Wow. But so, what does this mean for the Jets in cap space? I'll just 2 first-round picks. So the 2026 Jets now have 2 first-round picks, 2 second-round picks, 117 million of projected cap space, and 10 million guaranteed going to Justin Fields. And I mean, go and pay some players that deserve to be paid. Pay Breece. Pay Jermaine. We'll get to them in a minute. Pay these players that deserve it, that want to. We say want to be here. That want to be here. I'm going to show you a video now of wide receiver AD Mitchell last year against the Jets. So this is the new New York Jets wide receiver AD Mitchell facing off against All-Pro cornerback Sauce Gardner. AD's 10. He absolutely beat Sauce, gets it down, almost gets the touchdown. He was down by contact, I'm pretty sure, on the end of that play. But that's the kind of guy you're getting. That is the kind of guy you're getting. And for Aaron Glenn, for Mougey, they want to find young, high-quality players that fit into this regime that they're trying to build. I think with Sauce, the problem was he was drawing too many penalties. He was a very good coverage guy. Wasn't very good at picking the ball. Wasn't very good at tackling. All these things. So I think you then get a call from the Colts saying, "Hi Jets, we'd like to give you 2 first-round picks and AD Mitchell for Sauce Gardner." You then have to sit there and think, yeah, yeah, yeah. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you can't then you put in that situation of like, wow, this is an offer we're not going to get again, so we might as well take it, build in the future. We know they're going to draft a quarterback next year, probably, or trade for one. And it's something that nobody saw coming. They just want to build around that young quarterback, which is just absolutely crazy. Darren Mougey spoke yesterday and said, "We got to today. We had these offers. We felt were too good for the team to pass up on." Hey, what a day yesterday was. That's Sauce Gardner. I'm going to show you some Sauce Gardner stats now. So Sauce obviously tweeted this saying, "New York, it's been real." This was Sauce's PFF grade since joining the league. So he's traded to the Colts now. It says down there. He was traded to the Colts. He has, in his career, has had a 90.8 PFF grade, first since entering the NFL for cornerbacks. 50.3% completion rate allowed, first since entering the NFL, and forced incompletions 49, first since entering the NFL. He's a player. He can ball. He's the kind of player that people want on their team. I'll just make that bigger for you so you can see it a bit better. It's the kind of player people want on their team. And he's the kind of guy that will play well in the right system. He's going to a system that's much like his Robert Saleh system, which is where he thrives, to be fair. So I wish Sauce all the best in Indianapolis, and hopefully he can make it to the playoffs this year and shine throughout. But yeah, heartbreaking day for Jets fans everywhere. Losing a cornerback, Sauce Gardner. Right, now moving on to All-Pro defensive tackle Quinnen Williams. Q had been unhappy at the Jets. He's been at the Jets for 7 years, had 7 straight losing seasons, multiple head coaches, multiple general managers, and we saw his frustration when he tweeted at the start of the year after the Jets decided to move on from Aaron Rodgers, saying, "Guess another rebuild year for me." I think at that point we knew that the Jets were probably going to trade him. He was due an extension. And when somebody says stuff like that, you just, it's not going to probably work out. But fair play to Q, because he apparently requested a trade, and 3 times, and just kept it in house and didn't go public with it. This is what Q tweeted. He said, "New York will always have a special place in my heart. To my teammates, coaches, and the entire Jets organization, thank you for believing in me and helping me develop on and off the field. To the fans, thank you for embracing a kid from Alabama and showing love through every high and low. You welcomed me with open arms and gave me a place to grow. Your energy and passion made every game unforgettable. I'm excited for what's next in Dallas and can't wait to get to work." What a gentleman, what a man, what an absolute lovely person. Like, that's for a team that's just traded you, and a team that you've struggled to get wins with, struggled to get anything going with, really. What a nice thing to say. Like, I think the fans deserve that from Q, because the fans have always stuck behind Q. They've always stuck behind most of the players, to be fair. There's only a few players that if you spoke to, the fans would say, yeah, get rid of him. We don't want him. We don't like him. I'll give you a few examples here. Alan Lazard is definitely one of them, and also Michael Clemens, probably Jets fans wouldn't mind getting rid of. But crazy. We lost Source and we lost Q. Quincy remains on the Jets, a name that we thought we could see leaving. But yeah. Quincy also posted on his Instagram story a really lovely picture of him and Quinnen. So he also tweeted this after it happened. Literally. So Big Q leaves. Sauce Gardner leaves. Let's give you some Big Q stats. So Big Q since entering. This is since 2022, I believe. Yeah. Since 2022, it's a 90.6 PFF grade, which is 4th amongst all defensive tackles since that year. 24.5 sacks, which is 4th amongst all defensive tackles since that year. 195 pressures, which is 3rd amongst all defensive tackles. He's definitely a top 5 DT. And the Cowboys have absolutely got themselves a dog there. But another trade the Jets may have won. The Jets sent defensive tackle Quinnen Williams to the Cowboys, and Jets receive a 2026 second round pick and a 2027 first round pick, and defensive tackle Mazi Smith. The Colts trade was obviously 2 firsts. We get another first here and a second. The first is for next year's draft. The second is for this year's draft. Also, the first is meant to be the Cowboys pick over the Packers pick, or whoever ends up having the higher pick in the 27 draft, because obviously if it was this year, you'd want the Cowboys pick because, But the Jets get Mazi Smith, who was also a first round pick. Hasn't been very good for the Cowboys, however. Can the Jets be what brings him out? Can they be what brings AD Mitchell out? Can they be what brings John Mechie out? All these players definitely worth keeping an eye on now. AD Mitchell's going to get playtime with the Jets. John Mechie's going to get playtime with the Jets. Mazi Smith's going to get playtime with the Jets. They're all going to get the chance to show that they deserve to be in this league. They're all going to get the chance to show that this league is for them. This team is for them, even as well. So Q's gone. Source is gone. We saw a tweet from, let me see if I can find it. He was Diana Rossi. Let me find it for you guys. Diana Rossini said, a reaction from a league source to the Jets' 2 deadline day trades. They took a top 5 defense and tore it apart. Did she speak to Robert Saleh? This defense has not been top 5 since 2023. So to say that is just a bit small-minded, really. Also, moving on now from Q, moving on from Brees, not Brees, on from Source, moving on to Brees and Jermaine. Two big names that were circling, all day they were circling. The Jets' asking price for Brees Hall was a third-round pick. Teams failed to meet that, and their asking price for Jermaine Johnson was a second-round pick. Apparently, teams did offer a second for Jermaine, but he chose to stick with the Jets. Well, the Jets chose to not go with the trade, and keep him here. I think it makes so much sense to do that. I think it makes so much sense to do that because the Jets need players on the defense too. You can't just get rid of everyone. You can't just go, well, actually, we're 1-7. You can go to the Colts, you go to the Cowboys, you go to the Bears, you go to the Chiefs, you go to the you need to keep players. I know it's stupid. Jermaine Johnson tweeted saying, Jermaine Johnson said, I'd be lying if I said I was happy my brothers are gone because I'm not. I'm sick. But I believe strongly in the organization, staff, and my other brothers in the locker room. I said when I got drafted, I wanted to be the reason or part of the reason this thing gets changed for the better, and that's going to continue to be my outlook. I love this team and this fan base, and you will continue to get my all, my absolute best on and off the field. Let's look onward and upward because better things are coming, and I give my word on that. Go Jets, always. Jermaine Johnson, you're not leaving this team ever. You can stay. Actually, in fact, why don't you play every position? What a lovely thing to say. Like, you've just lost one of probably your closest mates in Quinnen. He tweeted this after the Quinnen trade was announced. Obviously heartbroken to see his brother go, but he loves this organization. He loves this fan base, and he made that so clear. So I'm glad that Jermaine's still here, that Jermaine's staying here for this foreseeable, because you don't find players like that all the time. The Chiefs offered a 4th-round pick for Brees Hall, but the Jets wanted a 3rd. The Jets had a 2nd-round pick on the table for Jermaine Johnson, but they wanted more. So did they want 2 seconds, or did they want a second, and a player back? Every trade the Jets have done has been in return for a player. There you go. The Bears and 49ers, were among the teams that tried to trade for Jets pass rusher Jermaine Johnson. New York wanted a 2nd-round pick, so Chicago pivoted to Joe Tryon Shoyinka. I don't know if I said that right. Well, San Francisco ultimately stayed put. A move to the 49ers was a reunited Johnson with Robert Saleh. So in the end, Jets did not trade Brees Hall, who wanted out. I'll get to that. Linebacker Quincy Williams and defensive end Jermaine Johnson, as offers were not good enough. So about an hour until the deadline yesterday, we get a tweet saying, breaking, Jets running back Brees Hall wants to be traded, I'm told. A little over an hour until the deadline, but Brees wants to be out. Is it true? Sadly, I think it is. We then get a tweet from Kurt Benkert, who's an absolute who said, Jets running back Breece Hall is not expected to be traded today per source. Update. Jets running back Breece Hall would like a fresh start as of last night, they weren't expecting to move him. But right now, the Jets have multiple offers on the table. We will find out soon. There until bloody blah. But Jets running back is not expected to be traded. He then said, if your source is the source, I don't think it's unreliable. Somebody said his source was unreliable, that Breece wanted to be out. So he's then saying that I didn't say source a lot, that Breece messaged him privately saying that he wanted to be traded. He said, I don't want to get anyone in trouble, but let's get the guy out of New York. He said, hashtag free Breece Hall. The Jets didn't. The Jets opted to keep Breece Hall, and they're going to have a talk with him, I'd assume, and try and fix that. Fix that kind of stigma around him and the Jets team. So since August the 20th, less than 3 months ago, the Jets have traded for defensive tackle Harrison Phillips, traded for defensive tackle John Briggs, traded for defensive back Jarvis Brownlee, traded for wide receiver John Mechie, traded for wide receiver A.D. Mitchell, traded for defensive tackle Marzi Smith, traded for cornerback Jasir Taylor, which was a last-minute buzzer-beaten trade, with the Chargers getting in return a 2028 seventh conditional or something. They signed kicker returner Isaiah Williams, traded for a 2026 first rounder, 2026 second rounder, 2027 first rounder, another 2027 first rounder. They traded away cornerback Sauce Gardner, traded away defensive tackle Quinnen Williams, traded away cornerback Michael Carter II, released kick returner Xavier Gibson, and traded away 28 seventh round pick. Darren Mougey. Wow. Darren Mougey. And I'm just going to leave you with this today, guys. Darren Mougey came to the Jets and wanted to prove that he knows what he's doing with this job. So he's made some bold moves to put his name in the legacy books. And I'm just going to show you this because I think it's quite funny. This is what was tweeted by New York Jets Matt. Go and follow him on Twitter if you don't already. And I think it's a really great pictation of the Breece Hall situation. He looks really happy in that photo. Anyway, I'm going to leave that there today. The Jets play the Browns on Sunday in a game. But who knows what's happening this season anymore? Mougey claims that they're not tanking and that their object every Sunday is still to go out and win. Aaron Glenn speaks this evening. So I'll be back and talk to you again very soon. Thank you all very much for watching. I've been Zach from Gangrene Machine Live. And the Jets have traded away defensive tackle Quinnen Williams, cornerback Sauce Gardner, cornerback Mark Carter II, and have gained a lot of draft capital and defensive tackle Marzi Smith, wide receiver John Mechie, and wide receiver A.D. Mitchell. So let me know in the comments who won these trades. Will the Jets be better next year? And what is going to happen in this Browns Jets game on Sunday? Thank you all very much for watching. I've been Zach from Gangrene Machine Live. You guys have been amazing, and we'll see you all next time.